Hey, what's up everybody, Kai here, and welcome back to Let's Play Breath of Fire. Today, let's go through this castle here and see if we can't save the people of Camlon from this demon. Alright, new enemy, the Creep. Yeah, Creep. I would make a Clayface reference, but I'm not quite feeling that vibe off of this guy. Wow, he has a lot of HP. Pretty good experience though, wow. See, now that's a good way to start a video. Another good way to start the video is by finding a spring here of clean water, which will completely recover your HP. So this is a really good place to level grind. But I don't think it's necessary. If you are new to the game, or RPGs in general, then you can if you want to. Alright, we got another new enemy here. The Beak. Very clever game. Wow, this guy is fast. Here we get some more money. Awesome. And, yeah, let's get into another random battle with yet another new enemy, the P-Bug, or the Poison Bug. Now these guys will do nothing but poison you. They don't even deal any damage to you. Now a slam is what you call a critical hit in this game. But another good thing about these recovery springs is that they also cure your status. But those P-Bugs are the #1 reason why I recommended you buy some antidotes before leaving Dragon. You could probably get away with 2, but I like to pick up 3 just to be safe. Wow, we're gaining levels like crazy. Now, Camlon Castle here is pretty easy. It's your basic tutorial dungeon in an RPG. They're not going to throw anything too crazy at you. They just want to get your feet wet and get you used to combat, things like that. Here we get the bronze sword, awesome, and an herb. There we go, I can press the right button. So let's take a look at that bronze sword. Alright, so it increases our attack by 7, but it lowers our action stat by 2. That's because, well, a sword is heavier than a dagger, even here in real life. With another new enemy, the Gloom. Watch out for these guys, because they have a Thunderbolt attack, and I believe it deals around 12 damage. So you want to keep your HP, I'd say above 15 at all times. But yeah, another aspect to equipment in this game is weight. And while it does play a role, you typically just want to go for whatever gives you the most defense. Here we get a gauntlet, I think that's a shield. Yeah. It's actually a little bit lighter than the wood shield and gives you a little more defense, so perfect. But yeah, typically speaking, your weight is important, but it's nowhere near as important as it was in Lufia. And more often than not, you just want to go for whatever's better for you. Although there are a few exceptions. Obviously, you know, if a piece of armor only gives you like +2 defense and lowers your speed by 10, then yeah, you might want to consider keeping what you have. And I believe that's it for all of the new enemies. And for right now, I'm just going to leave all of these battles in because they're so quick and easy to get through. But eventually I will be cutting random battles, like I typically do. Nice little sound effect when you're going up and down stairs. If this wasn't obvious, you just press A in front of that door and you'll interact with it. Here we get the suede chest plate. Let's give that to Ryu. That's a piece of body armor, so Yeah, it weighs a little more than the robe, but again, we get more defense, and that's what really matters. I wouldn't be too concerned with speed right now, because typically speaking, monsters that are faster than you, for the most part, are going to be faster than you. It doesn't matter if you're naked or if you're wearing a full suit of plate mail. It's just the way it is. And here we get a visor. Look, we've already replaced our entire suit of armor in this dungeon here. For free. Got some more floating heads to deal with. Ow. Another cool thing about having Ryu as a party member is sometimes when he gets hit, he will actually counterattack. And I know I haven't been able to show that off to you guys, but you'll see it eventually. Now, do you see those bones on the floor? Listen to this. Yeah, if you step on the bones, they make like a crunching sound. Uh-oh, a trap. Yeah, some treasure boxes in this game have traps attached to them. In this case, we lose all of our AP, but we get an antidote. Perfect timing. Now, I heard in the Game Boy Advance version that these guys can actually deal damage to you. It's only 1 point of damage, and it's such a minor change that it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but it is something to, I guess, be aware of if you're playing that version of the game and you're like, wait a minute, these guys are attacking me. Kai, you lied. Alright, let's use that. Yeah, we'll use the antler. Why not? I think it sells for more than the antidotes do, but whatever. And always, it's one step away from a box or a town. Absolutely. Now, what is a sproing? Anyways, sometimes you have good traps like this, and you get a full recover when you open a box. That's why I went to the other one first, because you get recovered if you open the one to the right. Not that it matters, because Ryu has no spells, but it's there. Alright, we made it to the throne room. This must be that demon we heard about. Well, you're just a little frog. How dangerous can you be? Whoa! Alright, it's boss time against the frog. Very creative game. You couldn't come up with something any more original than frog? Well, anyways, let's just go with auto battle. This guy's pretty fast, so you want to keep that in consideration when you're just duking it out with him. Ah, there's that counterattack. You can see on the upper right it said CNTR. Now, anytime that you're in auto battle and you want to cancel, you just press the B button. And, well, this might be very bad for me. Whew! Wow! Oh, man. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. I was kind of too busy talking. But yeah, you want to make sure you have enough room to be able to take another hit before you use your medical herb, because this guy is pretty fast. Don't do what I just did there, viewers. Like now, I should probably get ready to heal. But yeah, that's pretty much the trick to this guy, is just keep an eye on your HP and heal when you need to. And be a little... Whoa, critical. Was not expecting that. And yeah, just play it a little conservatively and you'll get this guy in no time. Nice mohawk you got there, man. I thought Gardeos had some pretty cool hair. A few more hits and we'll use another herb. Luckily, this is not the same frog from Chrono Trigger. Otherwise, we'd probably be getting our ass kicked right now. Alright, got him! Wait, what? What do you mean the frog seems alright? Yeah, another unique feature to the Breath of Fire series is that when you defeat a boss, you don't necessarily defeat the boss. They have what's called a second wind. It's where they have a little bit more HP, usually not much, like in this case, one more hit. But there are some bosses where, when they're in their second wind, they still have a ton of HP. But we got him, alright. Another thing to keep in mind is that during second winds, sometimes enemies' AI scripts will change, and they'll start using different attacks, or they'll start healing themselves, or things like that. But even if they do heal themselves and get out of that critical HP range, they're still going to be using that critical HP second wind AI script. Did we just get 3 levels? Wow, that's amazing. Alright, defeated the frog, and it looks like everything's back to normal. Also, now that we defeated the frog, all of the enemies in the castle are gone. So if you wanted to use those healing springs to grind, well, you missed your chance. So now we have to walk all the way back out, so I will just meet you there in one moment. Okay, we're back outside here in Camlon. Harry Potter, is that you? No. You may have noticed that Ryu has a scar on his forehead. Whoa, what was that? The Quake Control. Ah, okay. Sure, why not? Sounds good. But yeah, getting back on point, Ryu has a little dragon scar on his forehead. That's slightly important to the plot, but I wouldn't worry about that for too much right now. What you do want to worry about right now is that the Dark Dragons, who have infiltrated and taken over Nanai, have control of the Quake Control device, which allows them to create earthquakes, apparently. I just said that. Well, it already has fallen into evil hands. Ah, clever. I was just gonna say, well, how are we gonna sneak into Nanai if it's overrun with dark dragons? Well, there you go. Yeah, we get to play a little bit of Metal Gear Solid and be sneaky. I am brave. I'm the hero. So yeah, Breath of Fire also has a day-night system. Although, wait, where'd that soldier go? Ah, there he is. Well, maybe you should have done some level grinding like I did. Hell, you had those healing points right inside. But speaking of that, I'm gonna go ahead and, well, no, we'll be fine. Okay, so that's it for the town of Camlon. So Nanai is to the right there, and you can see they have a port, and I'm pretty sure this wasn't mentioned to us yet, but it should be obvious that Zog and the Dark Dragon's Empire is not on the same continent as we are. So in order to get there, we're going to have to find a boat. So saving the people of Nanai is probably a good idea, since they have a port. Here are those flea enemies I mentioned earlier in the game. Now that we're level 7, however, this battle is very, very easy. In fact, we're faster than them. Which was the main threat, really. It's not so much that they hit you for 3 or 4 damage, it's just because there's so many of them and you can't even heal yourself before taking hits. So as you can see, if you walk around on the world map, it gets darker outside. And although the day-night system here isn't nearly as significant as it was in games like Dragon Warrior, or I think one of the Zelda games had a day-night system too, it does play a little bit of a role here. And if you try to... is it still considered daytime? No, it's not. Okay. Well, if you came here during the daytime, the guards would be blocking the path and you couldn't get in. even if you tried to come here before Camlon, you couldn't do anything. So in order to progress with the story, you have to go to Camlon and then here to Nanai. And when it's nighttime, you can just walk right in. How did you even see me? Your back was turned. Alright. So yeah, just like in Metal Gear Solid, or Metal Gear in general, we have to be sneaky and sneak around these guards and not get seen. First, let's go to the inn and rummage through these chest or drawers. We get a strength potion, alright. Let's give that to Ryu. Now, stat potions, in general, it doesn't matter who you give them to because they're... well, I don't want to say they're rare, but there aren't too many of them in the game, unlike in Dragon Warrior. And they always only increase your stats by 1. So really, they make such a small impact on things that it's really not a big deal who you decide to distribute them to. Personally, I like to give them all to Ryu, except for like the magic-based ones, just because. Now here, you want to walk in between these two pillars. Is there anything in here? No. Down there, if you take these stairs, that'll take you to the port, but you can't do anything there. Like most RPGs, the first time you go to a port town, you can't use the boats. Oh well. It's odd they kept the weapon shop running, which has really good equipment. Wow. I don't have the money for the longsword, which as you can see here would be a pretty big upgrade over the bronze sword. But if you wanted to, probably the best way to get the money for that is to just wait like 5 or 10 minutes, because we're going to find a lot of money in the next dungeon. And then if you really want that weapon, you can just backtrack and buy it. But I'm not going to, because I don't think it's necessary. Although it would make the next boss battle a lot easier. Anything in here? No? Okay. Typically speaking, the only places where you're going to find hidden items are in those double-wide drawers. The single-wide drawers and bookcases and things like that typically don't have items, although there are a few exceptions. Here we get some more herbs. Awesome. Can never have enough of those. Now be very careful here. It's hard to see, but there's a soldier behind that building just to the south of us. You could barely see his head poking out. So you want to go around, like so. And then just make your way back to the middle of Nanai, and that's where you will find the palace. Now how you could sneak behind this guy and not the guy at the entrance, I don't know. Well, it's a pretty big dragon shrine palace place. Now I'll just tell you right now that there's nothing to the sides or on the top floor. No treasure, nobody to talk to or interact with or anything. So you just want to come down here to the center of the earth. But can we traverse this lava-ridden path, defeat the dark dragons that are here, and rescue Nanai? Find out next time. But until then, guys, as always, hope you have a good day. Take care.